Okay, so we're not doing a character corner this week because two reasons. One, it's been over a week since I've recorded, so I don't think it'd be fair. Two, I just don't think enough has happened with no characters like piss me off. Like, oh my god, I need to like, I'm gonna remember this. I know I made a couple jokes. Who was it? Was it Sanji?
Sanji. Sanji.
Sanji. Okay, I guess that's what we're going with, Sanji. As somebody, as I say this, I think a vague memory has come back in my head. I was like, oh, wait, I can't wait to judge him in character corner this week. I may have said that this week, but like I said, it's been over a week. But more importantly, I want to spin this intro. I don't like doing like a long intro and then doing a character corner. The video gets too long. Those are special cases. There's been a couple 50-minute videos recently, so I think the 100th video, which is not recent really, but the 100th video was 50 over 50 minutes, and then the big download video, what was that, 41, 141, something like that, where we get our first step into a larger world. That was a really long damn video. I try not to do that too often, so we'll just do a character corner next week. In the meantime, there was a great comment by Bellamy Colby on episode 146, which means it was a couple weeks ago, I guess, by the time this comes out. You should go back and look at it. He actually has two comments, but I'm talking about his long comment, starting off with gags are a big part of the characters of One Piece, which is what I want to talk about. And I'm not going to read his comment, like I said, it's really long, but go back and check it out. The entire comment's fascinating. But he mentions Sanji and he mentions Nami. And Sanji, he pretty much covers it. I've covered Sanji, so I'm not going to go too much into that. And he even acknowledges that Sanji almost lost the fight to Bentham, Mr. Two, because it was separated. But then he says, but he didn't lose the fight. And see, that's the kind of outcome based logic that I don't really like. It's like I walked across a busy traffic street with my eyes closed and I didn't die. No car hit me. So it was smart to do that. It was okay to do it. No, you got lucky. His simpery almost cost him that fight and should have cost him that fight. The fact that it didn't cost him a fight is irrelevant. Like, it affected the plot. It could have cost him the fight. So that's when it becomes a problem. That's when you go out, and like I mentioned this before, which is what he's responding to. When you go outside the comedy bubble and start affecting the plot, that's when it's no longer a gag, and that's when it becomes a problem, which is when I'm going to start judging you with the character corner. And just judging you as a fan. Because the gags are fine. Like, if you like silly hats or Luffy kind of just doesn't know what the hell he's doing, which we probably should judge him for, maybe that's a bad example. I'm trying to think of an example where it's a constant running gag, but it doesn't affect the plot. Like, because, for instance, Zoro's lack of direction, sense of direction, can affect the plot because it can keep him away from the action. So that affects the plot. So we should judge him for that. And I think I did. I think I knocked him a cool point. So we've got that going on. But also, I don't know. I can't think of a really good example of when it doesn't, when a running gag doesn't affect the plot. Now that you mention it, if I run across an example, we'll bring it up. But I'm sure there's got to be examples of the comedy bubble that don't affect the plot. But these do, right? So that's what we're really talking about here. Sanji's simpness affects the plot, which is why I judge him for it. But I don't care. Like, one of the things that the Bellamy brought up here was that it cheapens the way he's supposed to respect and value women. I don't really care about that aspect of it because, like, I get the gag as far as that goes. Like, I don't think he's like a toxic incel or whatever label we want to use, right? I don't think he objectifies women. I mean, he does. If you just look at the visual language, he objectifies women. But I don't believe that, right? Like, it's that's where like the comedy bubble is intact for me. I don't think he's disrespecting women. So that part has never bothered me. To me, it's just you can't trust him as a crew member because he can simp out. And what makes it so egregious is he's fighting an effing shapeshifter. See, this is why it's so bad for me. It would be different if Nami had like some kind of mind control placed over her and he was actually fighting her. Now she has mind control placed over her, and she's going to do some damage, hurt people. The bad guy wins, so you have to take her out. But you're not going to kill her, right? But you have to knock her out. Like you have to hit her in the face until she's unconscious. I can understand you'd be reluctant to do it, but like that would affect the plot if you're simping for her so hard you're incapable of hitting her and knocking her out. Like that, so that would be understandable. Like I wouldn't judge him too harsh for that. I'd be like, well, you have to do it, but I understand you don't want to hurt the person you love. Like I don't know that I could hit a person I love, you know, either gender. Like if I love them, I don't know that I could hit them. Like I don't believe in corporal punishment for kids. Like I'm just that's too much violence in my past for me to ever be okay with like hitting somebody I love. I'm not trying to hit anybody, but like especially somebody I love. So I understand the reluctance, right? Like if somebody I love has been mind controlled and they're pointing a gun at somebody else I love, then I will hit them. But so we could get that. But he knew this was a shapeshifter. He knew it. He knew for a fact that's a shapeshifter. That's not her. So it's just the image of her he's incapable of hitting her. Hitting him, whatever. Hitting the person. Hitting the shapeshifter. He's incapable of that just because the image of Nami comes out. Even though you know it's a shapeshifter. You see the transformation. That was what crossed the line for me. Like, if you're so simped out that you can't logically use your brain for half a second and realize that that's not her, it's just an image of her, it's just a carbon copy, a photocopy, like, who even cares? It's not her. That's, to me, that's why you get knocked points. That's why we can't trust you. That's when the simping is really bad. And so, yeah, that completely, for me, breaks the comedy bubble. So, I wasn't even really wanting to go into Sanji. So, but because I'm basically just reiterating everything I've already said. I haven't really talked about Nami though, which is what I want to get to. The Nami is an interesting one. He makes that point that, and by the way, he says it that Nami is his favorite straw hat behind Luffy. I kind of feel the same way. I don't know that I've ever ranked the characters. Maybe in passing. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the episode, just to replace the character corner for 1 week. I think I will actually. I'll do that. So we'll get to that later. But he's saying like some people take her greed the way she beats people. For instance, well, the comedy bubble, the way she beats people, that doesn't bother me at all. She's gonna catch these domestic violence jokes. Yes, she is. She'll catch the jokes, but I don't care. Like I don't think she's actually abusing people. I think it's a visual representation of her rage. I don't think she's ever hitting anybody really. But although somebody did say like in the Japanese culture it's more acceptable to hit people, just like in Hispanic culture, don't they have something where they take a shoe off and hit you with the shoe or throw a shoe at you? Like, and that's just a thing. Like, you're not going to actually be seriously hurt. Like, even though I don't believe in hitting kids at all, I don't think throwing like a flip flop at somebody or a sandal or whatever is that egregious. I don't really have a problem with that, especially the little kids, right? Because sometimes you got to educate, But and also it's just a cultural thing. It's really hard to just come in, not be part of that culture, and judge that culture. And so like the throwing the shoe thing is part of Hispanic culture. I'm not in the Hispanic culture. I don't know that I can really sit in judgment there. I don't know all the details and just the way things have been brought down. Now, obviously there are cultural things like if you're like whipping people till their back is shredded, I don't care what culture you are, I'm going to judge it. But this ain't that. But anyway, so like the Japanese culture, I think that's somebody said this is an acceptable part of the culture. So there's that. So maybe she's like slapping the backhanding their head or something, like the back of their head with her back of her hand or something. Who knows? I seriously doubt she's beating them to a pulp like we see with the massive bruises, and they're laying there like Beetle Bailey just got beat up by Sarge. I just don't believe that's happening, even if they depict that visually. So the beating thing is irrelevant. I don't care about that. She's gonna catch the jokes, but I don't care. So apparently some fans do, and some fans hold that against her, whatever. But the greed is what I have a problem with. And he talks about how some people actually believe she values money more than people's lives. And he's saying that doesn't register with him and his perception of her bonds with the crew. And it is perception. The word perception is being used there. We all have our own perception. To me, I think it's more tenuous than that. Yes, of course she cares about the crew. We get that. I think we all know she cares about the crew. They're her family. They're her found family. She basically has replaced the townspeople she loved and she was doing so much work for, which we know she cared about them. So we know she's capable of forming these bonds. And it's clear to me that she has replaced those bonds with the members of the crew. some more than others. But I think she loves the crew as a whole. I think that's obvious. But here's the problem. She has also come out of the comedy bubble with this greed. And they're trying to make it funny with the dollar signs for eyes and stuff, and they're making it more visually funny to make it clear, hey, dumbass, this is just a gag. There's gags with all the characters. We get this. This show is not that serious. These characters are not that serious. They're the most unserious group of pirates we've ever seen, and we've seen all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right? So they're unserious. We get that. And they're trying to make it more clear with the dollar signs. We understand that. But she let money endanger the entire crew. This happened, and it happened recently. She's coming back on her little jet ski, and they tell her it's going to be 7 billion berries. And rather than just, reach into her wallet and pay the money, she crashes her jet ski into the beach and incites violence and endangers everybody. She doesn't know the power levels of these people. Now, I know she knows her crew is very powerful and they're probably not in danger, but she doesn't know that for a fact. She endangered the crew and herself, and who knows what could even happen by wrecking it into the beach. She endangered everybody because she didn't want to pay 7 million berries. She put money in front of the crew. She valued money more than she valued the crew. This happened. It happened on screen. You can't argue against it. Like, you can maybe rationalize it, and you can bring up some stuff. Yes, she knew this, and yes, she knew that, and yes, the crew's very powerful, and they're fine. But like, even if they are fine, let's say it's a group of kittens, and you can kick these kittens across the beach if you want to. They can still use their little claws and draw blood. And so you have injured the crew because blood got drawn on their ankles by these kitten claws when you didn't have to. You could have just paid the money. So maybe you can rationalize. I would be interested to see you try. But she endangered the crew. She put them at risk because she didn't want to pay money. Now, again, was there a massive fire-eating dragon and they were in the mouth and it was about to close its jaws if she didn't pay the money? Of course not. So how much she endangered the crew is debatable. But she did endanger the crew. She put them at risk because she didn't want to pay money. That is valuing money more than is valuing the crew. That's what that is. So these are, and I'm sure there's other examples, and we'll probably see more examples in the future. These are the situations that tell me that, it's more debatable than maybe, you might believe, right? She does value money more than the crew in at least certain circumstances, which is why you can't trust her. And that's why I hold it against her. There could come a time, if it came down to it, where you had to pay 10 million berries, or we will literally chop Luffy's head off, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's in water or something, he can't move, and nobody can stop him in time, and the hatchet's right there, and they're about to cut his head off. Do I believe she'd reach into her wallet and pay the money? I do. But I think she will make calculated risks and gamble on the fact that her crew can get out of the situation rather than pay money. Because don't forget, she could have paid the money before at the toll. I think it would have only been 700,000 berries. It would have been way less. And maybe you'll say, well, she didn't have 7 billion berries. But here's the thing. Her dialogue doesn't say, we don't have that much money. Her dialogue says, that's too much. You're charging too much. Now, maybe it's a translation thing. It's possible. And it could be that's too much, ... we don't have that much. But they didn't present that to us. They could have written it however they wanted to. And again, if it's a translation thing, forget about it. But if they could have written it where we don't have that, so this is the only thing I can do. But as presented, with the information I'm presented with at the time, it implies that she had the money, but she thought they were charging too much, so let's steer the jet ski into their faces and let's fight. So that's the thing. To me, that's where she crosses a line. And that's why I don't trust her. Now, is this, again, the greatest sin in the world? No, she's one of my favorite characters. She might be my second favorite character. We'll find out at the end of the episode. But, you get points taken away for these things. And I think, Sanji and her are the only ones who, I think that their comedy gags actually degrade their character point value in my mind, Because Luffy's a moron. And Zoro has a bad sense of direction. He only got dinged 1 or 2 points. It wasn't that much. Sanji and Nami they've gotten a lot of points taken away. Because I do think it affects the plot. And that's why. So, alright, well, having said all that, we've been talking for a really long time. Let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, this is episode 160. You know where we are. You know where we're going. Three, two, one. Wow, volume really loud. Sky Piaille. I like that. Yeah. Bazooka, huh? How do you even know what a bazooka is? He is kicking that ass. I'm never worried about making God angry. I know where I'm going. Yeah, pretty much. That's right. Fix it up. You can get big. What are you so scared of? Unbelievable. Yeah, where is he? We've been all been wondering that. Yeah, to me, that's the definition of a god: omnipotence. If you just have a lot of power, you're not a god to me. He does kind of suck. He's got that satellite power. What's interesting is they're so far up in the air, but then he's coming from even further up in the air. Yeah, yeah, of course, yes. Well, duh, we were just talking about that. Yes, that's what she cares about. I thought you knew. Well, then you're walking across the other side. Like, what kind of logic is that? Oh, shit. Well, crap. They're doing a lot with the animation in this story arc with the black and white stuff. Hey, man, thanks. Nice catch. Yeah, so much for that, right? Look at that fish over there. He has knocked the F out. Sky shark, whatever. Yeah, yeah. I'm with her. I ain't doing it. Yeah. Cuts her out. Yeah, they're both pissed. What is it? Yeah. Yeah, but up in the air. Oh, right. Right, okay, gotcha. It really hasn't been that long. A couple episodes. Well, there's obviously clouds underneath the dirt holding it all up, right? That seems obvious. But this used to be a regular island that somehow those clouds brought it up to there, right? Let's get up there, man. Stop opening doors. The means of obtaining peace do not lead to heaven. That is a great line. I'm sure that is that's in some philosophy book somewhere. Well, I've already said which one I would take. Yeah, you're an idiot. Yeah, because it sounds fun. Yeah, dumbass. Yeah, yeah, none of them. I mean, you got to pick one. Any reason you pick's just gonna be arbitrary. They're all gonna suck, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Quicksand, swamp is probably the one you want to avoid. Iron, yeah. There's a reason to be afraid of everyone, man. Hey, man. Like I said, there's a reason to be afraid of everything. It makes it sound suspicious. It's all too vague, man. There's no way to know. You gotta pick one, a hole. Everything's a trick. That's why you can't be ruled by fear. Yep. I guess you go with ball, I suppose. His hunches seem to work out, what, 50%? He's very happy. Are they driving? Can they steer? I guess they can steer. They wouldn't be able to pick which one they wanted, right? Well, you'd have to know the philosophy behind it to know that, though. Yeah, whatever. Of course you could fall off. Yeah, he's not wrong. Here they go, falling off. There they are. Pride cometh before the fall. And Sanji was definitely prideful with that little comment. Full Looney Tunes. I like that his teeth are out and his eyes are gone. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh well, nothing to do but die. Maybe let's fall instead of ball. What do you think? At least we know what the birds think of it. Misleading stuff. How did he know, man? He is insane. Insane, I tell you. I think they're on the island. I mean, they fell a long way, but they're still on the island. It's weird, right? Oh, so it is ball. Yeah, will you stop? Wipe your face off and get up, man. Yeah. Okay, I see the steering wheel now. You're in big trouble regardless. I don't think there is a right and wrong entrance. They all suck. That'll never happen, though. Give things some thought. Hey, they're going at an angle. That's weird. And disorienting. Rice crackers. I don't know about all that. Oh, shit. That can't be good. The hell was that? Somebody was sitting on one of them balls, man. There he is. It's an angel, it looks like. Now we're playing with the balls. Idiotic. Yeah, that's a damn problem. We got ball snake. Yeah, you jerk. Here come more snake balls. Oh, they're eggs. Hey, man, he's got a strong kick. If he. Oh, shit. Well, that's a damn problem. I'm really curious what would happen if they went the other ways. We'll never know, but. Yeah. Each one's different. Each ball's different. It's unpredictable what'll happen. One could have snakes, one could have ants, spiders, be full of acid. Surprise clouds. Yeah, great. Surprise! Yeah, that's one of the people we saw a couple minutes ago. I see. Did we see four people earlier? I lost count. I wonder about that. It felt like it was more than four, but maybe it's just four. They were just like, which one will they pick? Not a very serious priest, that's for damn sure. Hey man, let him dance. These people are insane. Everybody's dumber than you expect. Yeah. Really? Dumpling? We're going to sacrifice him. Yep, everybody dies. Let's just keep going. Yeah, really? Okay. Then come down here. He's shaped like a ball. It took me a really long time to figure that out, but he is. He's shaped like a ball. I got you. Yeah, he's got something for that, doesn't he? What the hell? This director is very interesting. What they're doing with the black and white, but also what they're doing the extreme close up so we can't tell what the hell's going on. This director is doing some different stuff. I like it. He got knocked the F out. Ow. Well, so much for that. Well, shit. Wonder what it is. Kicking. Can he see the future or something? We're just talking about omnipotence. Really? Yeah. This, this dude's got precognition or something. That's how he knew Luffy was going to stretch before he stretched. I thought he just recognized the power. No. Usopp's going to have to pull this out, man. Because he doesn't have magic powers. Never mind. Boy, you got your clocks cleaned. Ow. Not good. He's back for more, huh? But he's pissed now. Now you're dancing on our boat. So the priests are idiots, confirmed. It's an illusion, huh? The whole thing's an illusion. Great. Really? Well, we better catch up with it. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Lovely. This is a damn problem, man. I love how dangerous this person is offset by how silly they are. That's the entire series in a nutshell, right? We've got silliness and seriousness all wrapped up together. That's a damn problem. And he can predict your movements, so you can't defeat him. You're going to have to outsmart him somehow. Just fix the damn boat. I love you, Chopper, but so you need a. What are you, the damsel in distress? Okay, that's a bit scary. I admit. They don't seem to be actually attacking the boat though. So as long as you stay on the boat, you're fine. Well, that's gonna be every adventure, man. You just gotta hold out, buddy. That's what I'm saying. How about you fix the damn boat, which was your original plan? Took him a while, but he got there. That's right. You're big. Like, why are you scared when you're big? I gotta remember, he's the youngest member of the crew. He's only 15, right? You just need to learn how to hammer. Rookie mistake. Really? And now you have to go down there and get the hammer, and then you're gonna get snatched. Why would you turn small to do that? I would be big as hell. Smaller target. This a hole, man. Wow. It is going too, man. If only they'd stayed on the boat, they'd already be there. Stayed on. I know they got knocked out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this a hole. Yeah, yeah. Pride. Being filled with pride isn't actually a good thing, is it? You need somebody to occupy his time anyway while you get the boat. Yeah. It's not gonna be that easy, buddy. He already knows. Although Luffy is a pretty unpredictable person, he doesn't plan ahead, right? He doesn't plan ahead, so maybe you can somehow use that to your advantage. Well, crap. I guess it doesn't matter either way. Well, it depends. Like, if the precognition works because you plan ahead, they can see your plans, which is the way it worked in the movie Push. That's how being unpredictable is the only way to defeat that. I'm not sure that's how this works. He doesn't plan. I said I will, and I will. I love him. That's why I love him, right? I said I will, and I will. Yeah. See, he doesn't plan ahead, but you still see it. So I don't know how you beat him. Wow, that is not good. Shit. You just got knocked the F out. Man, he is getting worked. Jesus. Oh, he's coming. He's pursuing for a second shot. The first shot wasn't good enough. This dude's really starting to piss me off. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got to avoid all the balls. Yeah, get the high ground. Is that his nose? His face? It's his head. Okay. A-hole. He is stubborn. That's his best attribute. I see a lot of myself in him because I'm like not very smart but very stubborn. Yeah, there's some commonality there. Okay, so ranking the characters. Obviously, Luffy's a favorite. Right below him, it's Chopper. I guess Nami's my third favorite, along with Zoro. They're kind of the same. So, if there's tiers, if it's a tier system, we've got Luffy at the top tier. Sanji. Then we've got Chopper. He's got a tier of his own, but he's a tier below Luffy. Below that, we've got Nami and Zoro together. Okay. Below that, then we've got Sanji. And below that, then we've got Usopp. And then below that, we've got Nico Robin. So I guess that's how I would rank the characters. But I like them all. There's none of my hate. But there's a clear difference between the top four and everybody else. There's a huge gap. Maybe there even be like a tier in between where nobody is, and then you've got Sanji, right? So that's how I'd rank them. I'm curious your rankings. If you just want to do like a numbered list, let me know what you think, or a top three or something. You don't have to get too elaborate with it. I'm just curious.